Yes, we have reached this point where I'm reviewing Atomic Deck by Craig Petty. Hello everybody, my name is Alon, and I am a magician and mentalist and the community owner of one of the largest, if not the largest Magic community in all of Magic Online. And today I'm so excited because I get to review this, the Atomic Deck. And yes, I know, you've probably seen other reviews. And yes, I know you've probably seen a lot of controversy around this. But please, I want you to watch this review going in with a head knowing that, first of all, I'm not being biased. Yes, Craig is a good friend of mine. He's done a lot for my community and me personally. But this review is solely based on my experience of actually already going on and performing this trick. That is right, I have waited, unlike other reviewers, and I have waited to put out this review right now in this moment in time for a few reasons. Number one, I have actually got this trick in Blackpool early access from Craig, and I bought it myself. So this was not sent to me for free. And since then, I have been waiting and performing this trick to friends, family, and in shows, in both stage and close-up environments. And I have been waiting for the updates and to see where it goes. And oh boy, I have good news for you. Some of the problems that people are having, for example, the phone, are now gone. So I'm excited to show you this review and tell you exactly what I think about why this might just be one of the greatest ACAANs of all time. But not all Magic is for everyone. Sometimes Magic is gonna work better for others, sometimes other tricks won't. We're all different with different tastes. Just like food, colors, it's the exact same. So please watch this with an open mind, and I hope you enjoyed this review. So first of all, if you are watching and you have no idea what Atomic Deck is, let me tell you what it is. Essentially, magicians have always been trying to figure out this one big plot in Magic, especially in card Magic, the ACAAN. Any card at any number. Essentially, a spectator names any card whatsoever, any number. Now, many magicians have tried to create the perfect ACAAN. Some have only made cans, which is card at any number, and some have different variations. But essentially, for an ACAAN to be perfect and the holy grail, it's actually theoretically impossible, unless you have chance. To have a deck just plainly out on the table, you not changing the order, you not doing anything, a normal deck, that's Magic. And I believe that the Atomic Deck is as close to that as possible. And of course, there's always gonna be some limitations. For example, here, we're not using a normal deck, it's a special deck. A deck that can be examined, and we'll talk about that, but it's not a normal deck. But at the same time, in the Atomic Deck, you don't have to change the order of the cards. You don't have to change anything. There's no maths involved. It's all done perfectly. So essentially, that's really it. It's an ACAAN, and it's a very darn good one. Now, let's unbox this magical, mystery, amazing box. So essentially, you're gonna get the instructions right here. Murphy's does amazing. We're gonna talk about the tutorial in a second. But then you're gonna get in this box a nice deck of cards. Now, this is not Bicycle, this is Copperhead by Legends Playing Card Company. And it doesn't even matter, but we'll talk about that. And you take out the deck of cards. You're also gonna get inside, you're gonna get two jokers, which are actually a part of the actual deck, but I took them out. You just get them, but you don't actually use them in the performance. So, nice little souvenir for me. And essentially, this special deck of cards here will allow you to create some incredible miracles. To unbox the cards themselves, you will notice essentially instantly when you open them up that they are obviously not normal cards to you as a magician, but to a layman. Give these and they will not really find anything. But I'll also give you some personal experience that I have faced. And again, I'm not being biased here today. So you've got an ordinary deck of cards, and it's really nice, really cool cards. I actually genuinely do love the back design and everything, so it's generally really nice cards. And that's it for the cards. Let's go into the tutorial quality. So first of all, it's Craig Petty. You're expecting 10 million hours, but no, this isn't a 2-hour tutorial, but you're also getting a few interesting bonuses, so stay around and listen. Before everything, you get access to live performances. Of course, it's Craig Petty. How could you not have a tutorial without any live performances? But in this case, you're getting different types of live performances because the Atomic Deck is universal. You can do this close-up. You can do it on stage. You can do it parlor. You can even do it online. You've got it all covered. You're gonna see live performances on Zoom of Craig performing to people like Mark Ellison, Kyle Purnell, David Jonathan, Mark Paul, and so many incredible names in Magic. And on Zoom, it allows you to do something really sneaky, which is amazing. Imagine you're doing a virtual show, how strong doing this would hit to so many people. You're also getting live performances of close-up, of this done on stage. Craig did this on the Penguin Live Holiday Special, and you can see how strong it plays when done on stage or a parlor setting. You're getting different types of performances using the live website, that the statistical website by Birmingham University, which not as many people like. So you also have the notes functionality, but we'll talk about the input methods very, very soon. So essentially you're getting a lot of live performances of different types to show you how you could present it and the different ways you can do atomic deck. And again, not everything and not every input method will be for everyone. Then this is something I really, really like, and I'm so glad Murphy did it. You get a 6-minute tutorial. Essentially, you get the main 2-hour tutorial of Lloyd Barnes, where they go over so many things, like the history of how it came about, which is such an interesting video to watch, just because this deck really did take a long time to make. You also get told exactly how to deal in a special way without revealing the method. There's a certain way you deal, and you're taught that in very much detail. You're also taught exactly how it works and the different reasons and what in-house of how and why things are chosen, which is really nice. But then you get a 6-minute tutorial at the very start if you just want to learn the method in 6 minutes, which is really, really nice. In 6 minutes, you're good to go and you can understand exactly how the trick works. But obviously watching the 2-hour tutorial is important because there's still a little few nuances that are still important to get your head around. And then you get a Peter Turner jam, which is amazing. This runs for an hour and a half where you got Lloyd Barnes, Peter Turner, and Craig Petty on a Zoom call for 1.5 hours, and you get some incredible different viewpoints from Peter Turner himself, the master mentalist. So highly recommend watching that too. So overall, of course, the tutorial is really great, but it is really a one-trick thing. Yes, you get some nice ideas from Peter and other people, but essentially, as an ACAAN, that's really what it does. And that's not a problem. That's what you get, that's what you choose, and it's strong, it's a good one. So I hope now you've got that clear. Let's talk about the different input methods. Input methods? What? This is an ACAAN. Why would you need to input anything? Well, essentially, this ACAAN allows you to have absolutely no maths if you choose to go down that route. What do I mean? So essentially, you are using a phone in play, and by having a phone, it means that the phone does all the complicated maths, because essentially how atomic deck works is it does a lot of crazy math algorithms in the background, and it isn't the easiest maths to do. Trust me, I've asked a few of my friends, Joseph, to try and figure it out, and they didn't want to, because it's a little bit complicated. So essentially, you have two main phone input methods. One is the one that people online are not really loving, but personally, me as a student in school, it's a nice one to really present, and I have tried it at school because I didn't have my phone on me, and you can have a spectator's phone instead, or even a computer. And it really worked nice for me personally. In a school scenario, I said, hey, there's this crazy study, I'm just studying probability in maths, and I found this study upon playing cards and probabilities. Let's try this. And it worked perfectly. Essentially, on the website, as you can see on my screen right now, this is how it looks like. You're going to input absolutely the card that they name and the number that they name, and it'll give you a percentage probability of that coming out. By doing this, it actually makes you narrow down to the best possible combinations. We'll talk about that later on what that means too. That's the website input method. You also get a brand new input method that Joshua O'Reilly, the developer of this app, which is apparently a web app, but it's not really an app, but it is an app, and it's on your notes, which is really nice because essentially the thing is with ACAANs and normal card tricks, when you ask the spectator to choose a card, right? It's one piece of information they have to remember, which isn't always easy. Think about it. If you're an actual performer and you do perform regularly, you will have experienced your spectators forgetting things. Yes, that's tough. But by this, you give them a reason. They have to memorize a card and a number between 1 and 52. That's two pieces of information, which isn't always that easy on the spot. So you have the justification of having the notes and you write it down. So that way they cannot change their mind. It's right in front of them and it's simple to do. Actually, in performance myself, the spectator, after we wrote it on the notes, they were like, what was the card again? And I'm like, well, we wrote it down in the notes for that very reason. And that was perfect. Literally, the spectator had me justify that in the perfect conditions possible. So totally, in my personal opinion, does not matter. The people that are saying online that, oh, the notes, I have to have my phone in play. Sure, I get it. You don't want your phone in play. I'll have the next solution for you in about a few seconds. But for those that don't mind the phone, it completely doesn't matter. And the phone tells you exactly how you need to deal in all the information. But wait, don't leave yet, because there are two new input methods that are literally being released on the day I'm filming right now. So by the time you're watching this, these two input methods have probably been released, and some of you are probably going crazy over them, because now you don't need, number one, your phone in play, and for the second one, not even a lot of math. What? That's it. For those of you who are saying that I can't do this trick, I don't want to do atomic deck just because I need a phone in play, well, now you're getting a third one, which is a crib. You get a crib on a box. Now, I am filming this right now and it's not released, so I am not the person, and I'm not going to talk about it crazy much because it's not properly out. So don't take my word for it fully, but if you're watching this, you can check it out right now. Across the internet, you will see that there's a crib now. And that means a crib with a little bit of maths, you're able to just have them name the card and number, and you're able to deal without having your phone at all. All you'll need is the deck. And then they're adding a brand new method, which I have no clue about, but apparently that doesn't even need a crib. So you don't need anything around you to play. That's it, you just need the deck and nothing around you, nothing that they see, nothing crazy, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And it shows that Murphy's and Craig are taking your feedback. You guys didn't like the phone method. Well, now you've got another method that doesn't need it. So tell me if I'm wrong, but Craig and Murphy's Magic are doing such an outstanding job at what they're doing and taking actually your feedback and putting it into place. That is special. So now let's go into examinability. Lots of people are scared to give this out to examine. Number one, these cards are in a way special. I can proudly say, because it has been exposed a lot, that they're not necessarily normal cards by them being thinner a little bit. And when you actually examine them and actually like handle them, you'll feel that they don't feel perfect. But that's you as a magician. See, if you give this to a magician, yes, they're gonna literally feel and realize something is different. And I can tell you straight up right now, see, if you watch, and there's a video link right here, I did a vlog, I was in Blackpool, and Craig performed it, and somewhere in the video, at the start of the video, you can see a full performance of Craig doing the atomic deck to me. He gives me the cards to examine, and I swear to you, on that moment, I was looking through, I could not understand or find anything as a magician. I understood that they were thin cards involved, but I had no idea, no clue how they were to do with anything, which is exactly why it doesn't matter. And that's me as a magician. You perform this trick to laymen, not to magicians. Magic is designed to be done to laymen. So again, when you perform to the right audience, laymen, they're not gonna find anything. But I will also give you, because I said I'm gonna be honest, of course, I have done this just recently to one of my friends, and I gave them out the cards and they instantly said, these cards are a little bit thinner than usual. And this was because they have handled cards before. I do a lot of magic to them with cards, so they really are kind of used to it. But that is just me telling you my truthful experience right now. So that might put some of you off, but trust me, the thin cards doesn't matter. And even if they find that they're thin, it doesn't explain anything, right? So trust me, they're not gonna find anything. They can examine it all they want, and it's gonna be great. So what are some positives? Guys, I've listed out a few, but I'm just gonna make it clear and fair to you. It's a clean Acaan. It is literally, if not one of the cleanest Acaans of all time. It is as close as possible to the burgless effect as it can be, and Craig's done it. He's cracked it. You literally have the deck in plain sight the whole time. You don't do anything, and you can just deal to that number, and that card will be there. So it is one of the cleanest Acaans. You don't have to do maths if you use the phone. And with this new method, not a lot of hard maths at all. Very, very basic maths. So that's another pro. It is also really relatively easy to do. Murphy says it's for intermediates, but I don't really think so. I think it's much easier to do that. I genuinely believe it's a beginner trick. I think anybody who's getting into magic can learn this, watch a tutorial, and get it down with a little bit of practice like any magic. And this is crazy. You can do an Acaan on stage. Now, obviously you can do any Acaan on stage, but the ability that you have the website where people can open up their phones, you can have so many spectators standing up, sitting down, narrowing down to one spectator and their card and their number. That is golden. Also, this trick is just genuinely just fooling, so that's quite cool to have. Magic isn't about the fooling element, but again, it's quite a fool. And something I've not really seen done before in Acaans is the fact that actually they can just think of their card and number, and they can give you one or neither, and you're able to know exactly what card and number they're just thinking of. Meaning, let's say they think of the 4 spades and 12, you can keep dealing and you tell them in their mind, when you like stop at the number that you're just thinking of, in your mind say stop, and you can physically stop because you know that position. And then you'll know what that card is, and you can say, let me try and get a sense of what that card is. Oh, it's the 4 spades, which hasn't been done before in Acaan. So you can make this really big mentalism thing where you can actually even predict and reveal their card and number when they haven't even said it, which I haven't seen done before in Acaan. So that is another incredible thing to have. So what are some negatives? Now, every trick has negatives. There aren't many here, but so much controversy online, so many people. Again, one of the biggest negatives is the fact that it's not fully examinable, but we talked about this. It really is. I just want to make it clear. If you watch the examinability section of this review, you will know what I'm talking about. It is completely fine. But the biggest negative that people are having, other than the fact that it's a phone in play, which we talked about isn't a problem anymore, is the fact that actually it is an ACAAN, but it's about, I forgot the exact percentage, but it's about 89 or 90% of cards and number combinations out of like 1,000 plus combinations. I forgot the number. It's huge. It's like 52 times 52, which I just calculated. It's 2,704. About 90% of combinations will work perfectly. In fact, in the best play, which like you deal from the face down, sometimes you might actually deal from the face of the cards, which again, doesn't really matter. They can visually see. I do personally prefer dealing from the face down like this, but it equally doesn't matter if you're dealing like this. It doesn't matter, but the chances of you dealing this way are much, much higher. But they teach in the tutorial a lot of presentational subtleties to get them to change your mind. But yes, at some points you might have your spectator change either their card again or their number. But again, I've done and performed this trick already, and I can tell you it's never been a problem. I just tell them, oh, let's just change the card, let's just change the number, and they don't mind, because you tell them at the start that there might be the possibility you change it, and just to make it more interesting, maybe let's spice it up. Maybe that's too low of a number, too high of a number, let's make it a random interesting number. And then they're like, oh my God, but I changed. And then afterwards, when they change their mind, they start backtracking and they realize, oh my God, but I changed. What if I actually went with my original? You know, what would have happened? Oh my God. And it blows their mind even more. So really, that's not the biggest negative. But yes, it is not any card and any number. It's any card and any number, 90%. And then they also teach you in the tutorial some psychological subtleties to get your chance to increase much higher of success, which is really nice. And another small negative that some people have is the fact that the back design is not bicycles. That is the smallest negative I've ever seen. It literally doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. I know a friend of mine said that they actually have to switch they have a show, they would like to do atomic deck, but they do a deck switch where they have just bicycle decks to switch. So actually you can find a line on Legends Playing Card Co, another like normal deck of cards of this same back design. But honestly, I don't think that matters. If you're just doing this as a standalone, no one really cares. I have like 500 cards because I collect cards. I just sometimes use different decks of cards. No one cares, no one judges. Some people don't even know bicycles are the main cards. Like, that's an American thing, I think. So it doesn't really matter at all. And lastly, guys, you're probably wondering, is this worth the value? So this trick is retailed at $50, and I can tell you straight up right now, yes it is. Yes it is. It is not an easy deck, I'm assuming, to actually physically make, especially as Murphys have found a really revolutionary way to print now. So I wouldn't assume it's really cheap to make. And this will last you for a long time. And yes, they even tell in the tutorial, not forever. These are thin cards, so yes, they can get damaged. And if they do, it's not so bad. You can put them in between two books and you'll be fine. But yes, if you treat it well, like any other magic trick you buy, it'll last you for a long time. So it's completely worth its value. You can perform this and it's such a strong effect. So yes, I really do believe for what you're paying for, you're getting a lot of value. And with that, I really hope you enjoyed this review. I hope, please, if you guys are about to comment down below that, oh, this trick sucks, blah, 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 because of all the controversy, just don't comment. I don't want you watching my channel even. That's not the sort of people I want. But if you did enjoy the review and what I had to say, even if the atomic deck isn't for you, please let me know down below. I'm curious to hear your opinions. I'm curious to hear if you've got atomic deck. Do you like it? What are your opinions? But please, no negativity in this channel. We only support positivity in this world, and you guys have been nothing but incredible to me. And as I said earlier, I wasn't backable this year, so please make sure you check out our vlog. It was such an incredible journey. And make sure you check out my free magic community. It's completely free. It is awesome. All information is in the link in the description. It is literally a free magic community. You get access to so many things, live monthly lectures, so many resources for free, jams, everything, you name it. We're the best magic community in the world. Join it and make sure you like this video, turn on your notifications and subscribe. Guys, I am doing so well on YouTube. I want to hit 2,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Please, let's reach that number. Help me out. It would mean so much to me, especially as I'm pushing out reviews as much as I possibly can now, balancing my community, school, and so much life. So I love you guys. You're the best, and see you in the next review. Bye bye. Alon out.